What's up, guys? It's Bruce here. I got another book review for you. Today I'm going to be doing Larry Correia's Tower of Silence, Book 4 in the Saga of the Forgotten Warrior. My gosh, these books just keep on bringing what I like. Real quick before I get into that review, my current read, picked this book up at my local book exchange down there in downtown Hillsboro, Oregon. Nobody says Oregon. But yeah, Witchy Eye. I've heard of this author because he was on the Writer Dojo podcast. And he actually talked about this book, but when I bought it, I totally had brainholed that. So far, so good. Ton of stuff going on here to keep track of. I'm just plowing through that, and hopefully my mind kind of filters through it as I go. But other than that, it's so far so good. Pretty big first chapter. It's like a 30-page first chapter, but I liked it. All right, let's hit that synopsis, and then we'll get going on this review. The assassination of the chief judge has pushed the capital to the edge. The great extermination has spread to all the land. The casteless must be annihilated. Their only hope is the fallen protector, Ashok Vidal. Vidal is being held prisoner on the island of Fortress. In order to save those who need him most, he must escape and find his way across the demon-infested sea and return to Thera, the prophet of an illegal and forgotten god. It is she who has sent the Sons of the Black Sword to war against the warrior caste, hoping to buy time until Vidal's return. But as the chaos swirls, Grand Inquisitor Oman Vakan launches a coup to install Lord Protector Devidas as his puppet king. Devidas has no intention of being anyone's puppet, but it may not matter, for Vakan has struck a secret bargain with the demon. Vakan will destroy the casteless for this ancient being. In exchange, he will be granted the power of the ancient gods. Ashok Vidal, Thera, and the Sons of the Black Sword face foes both human and supernatural. Byzantine, political intrigue, and bloody hand-to-hand combat, gods and demons alike. But Vidal is a warrior with a warrior's heart, and woe to those who would stand in his way. Man, god, demon, or otherwise. Speaking of gods and demons, this book, Book 4, Tower of Silence, really opens up the lore and gives us more information about the gods and demons in Locke and in this world in general. The gods are very alien. Like, you almost get to feel like maybe they actually are not gods, but aliens with crazy technology. But at the same time, it's pretty clearly they're magical. So I don't know. It's just an interesting vibe there. There's alien creatures. They're incredibly powerful, but at the same token, they have all this might, all this power, this immortality, but they're also kind of finite, right? Like Mother Dawn, she can tell the future, but she can't really interact too much and let the mortals know what she knows, because then she will inadvertently negatively affect the future, and she doesn't want to do that. So she's really limited on what she can say. And we even see like some of the gods' weapons are kind of finite, and they seem to maybe run out of ammo, basically. So it's a cool little juxtaposition of like insane power mixed with limited resources. I like it. Cool way to look at gods. And then with the demons on the flip side, we see that, you know, this whole time we thought that they were just hanging out in the sea, in the salt water, but it turns out there's more than that kind of demon, and we come to realize that nowhere is safe. And by the way, terrifying demons. I'm not going to go too much into them because it's going to be a sweet little surprise, but yeah, nowhere's safe. So buckle up. We also see the gods, after they kind of blow their wad, basically tell humans like, all right, kind of on your own, figure it out. Demons are coming. Shit or get off the pot. We also see, so Ashok, his stubbornness kind of crescendos in this book in regard to him not believing that he is Ramrawan reincarnated. He is in Fortress, stuck there, and he basically keeps fulfilling all these prophecies. And these people are like, "You're gonna do this," or the avatar of Ramrawan should do this and this and this, and then Ashok does this and this and this, and he's like, "Nah, that ain't me, dog." To the point where it's like, bro, it's you, but he's just not accepting it. And it comes to the point where he eventually does. He's like, okay, at least he believes that the gods, or he accepts that the gods are there, because he has this encounter out on the plains where he's like, there is no way I would have had this encounter if the gods hadn't willed it. This has to be the will of the gods, trying to get me where I need to be, where I want to go, and where they want me to go. But it's weird that it's the thing that makes him realize, or at least admit, that yes, okay, gods are here, they're real, and they're doing these things, isn't all the crazy stuff he's done. It's the gods doing this simple little thing that allows him to get to the people he loves. And he admits he loves them. He comes full circle and admits that Kida is his friend. So by the end of this book, he has kind of come into his almost a completion of his arc, even though there's still 2 books left. At least he's changed a lot by the end of this book. As far as from book 1 to here, it feels like a really big completion of a character arc. In this book, there are so many crazy events. They just keep escalating, getting crazier and crazier, and it really feels like things are getting out of control, even outside of Oman's control. He gets surprised a couple times, and he's not happy about that. Even though he manages to find a way to make that work to his benefit, more surprises keep coming, and in this book, he doesn't come to realize that more things stacked on the top of that surprise after he kind of shifted his position to make it beneficial to him. So next book, he's probably going to try and figure out what to do next after these new variables have been introduced and throw in wrenches into his gears of his plan. My goodness, yeah. It just feels like things are getting out of control. It's careening towards just destruction, but at the same time, there are some key things getting put in place that can stop it. But it's the way it's set up is something is gonna have to probably be sacrificed. Somebody's probably gonna die, or something bad is gonna happen. Even if things, work out, which, it's a book series, so it's probably gonna work out. But it's probably gonna come at a hefty, hefty price, is the feel of this book, especially at the end. And then we see, so Ashok spends the majority of the book in Fortress, and we really get a good look at this alternate society to Locke, and it contrasts Locke in a ton of ways, a lot of ways, but in another sense, it's very similar. Like, corruption is rampant on both sides. The poor are poor. Everyone has their dregs, right? Like in Fortress, there's just the poor. In Locke, they're the casteless, but they're beggars, they're poor. I don't know. Honestly, it might be better to be a casteless, because at least they have food. I don't know. In Fortress is it's a barren rock. Stuff doesn't grow well there. They're just scavengers, and it doesn't seem like they can hold out for a ton of time. So it's funny to see how the mainland, how Locke had built Fortress up in their head, and then we finally get to see it, and it's kind of crap, kind of run down, not the best. They got guns, so they got that going for them, but other than that, it's not the crazy superpower that many people have built it up to be. It's just, well, one, they have the ocean with all the demons in it to kind of protect them, and then they have huge walls. But on the other side of those walls, things aren't necessarily all that great or cohesive or anything like that. And Ashok definitely seems like the key to their salvation, or particularly their survival, I should say, because things aren't looking great, and there's not probably too many more generations are going to be able to eke it out on that salty rock. So good thing Ashok showed up. This book really feels like a pivotal point in the series, more so, I would say, than any of the other books before it. It feels like a lot of things are kind of coming to fruition, kind of coming to a head, or at least building up to this this boiling point, and you're on this precipice of destruction, looking down at the freaking open maw of demonic teeth and death, right? It's just, seems like a lot of bad stuff's about to happen. So I can't wait for the next book to come out, which isn't going to be until November, which is close, but still, I think you can get it digitally ahead of time right now. Yeah, I want to get paperback. So you can put it on the shelf, dude. Another great book. Larry Correia keeps knocking it out of the park. My favorite author. This is my favorite fantasy series. I'm going to pick up the rest of his books. I'm going to do the Grim Noir series, probably. It'll be the next one of his I tackle. Keep going on Monster Hunter. I'm going to get Monster Hunter Alpha on audio. I just like listening to the Monster Hunter books on audio, because I don't know, I just like it. Hopefully the next Age of Ravens book gets come out in the next year or 2 years. I don't know how long it takes to do something like that. I know him and Steve Diamond are you know, workhorses. So here's hoping. Yeah, he's got a bunch of other things. He's got like Dead Six. It's like a, is it a, I don't know if it's sort of Western or like a space Western. I don't know, I'll look into it, but basically anything that Larry Correia has put out, I am wanting to scoop up and consume until I am caught up, and then I can just get his new stuff. Go read this book. Go get, if you haven't read any of them, go get Son of the Black Sword and start smashing through this series, because you will not be disappointed. If you like fantasy, if you like sword and sorcery, if you like kind of a different view on fantasy, whereas not being like a proto-Europe, dude, go get this. This Indian-themed fantasy story is brutal, awesome, dark, violent, funny, got good romance. Dude, it's got everything you could ever want in a fantasy series. So go pick it up. But that's all I got for this video. Thank you guys for coming in. Thanks for all the new subscribers I got. I actually got quite a few. I got like 12 today. So who you out of that? Thank you guys. Like, subscribe, share this video. You know, if there's anybody you know that might want to watch it, let them have at it. And then comment down below and tell me what you thought. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Keep reading.